dawn's early light, what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watch, we're so gallantly streaming, and the rockets red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Please be seated. Thank you, Emily and Dr. Collison. This is the 2017 commencement ceremony for the Department of Communications. Welcome to each of our faculty, graduates, parents, and friends on this joyous and significant day. I'm Dr. Jason Shepard, Chair of the Department of Communications. Commencement is the most wonderful and exhilarating event of the academic year, and thank you all for being here as part of today's ceremony. I'm happy to announce that today's ceremony for the first time is being live streamed. Those of you who could not be here can watch it at fullerton.edu and click on the Special Events Live Stream tab. In a couple of days, you'll also be able to view it on YouTube at Titan TV CSUF. Also, we'll be tweeting and posting throughout today's ceremony, so if you are on social media, follow us on Twitter, Instagram, or Facebook at CommCSUF. Share your posts using the hashtag CommCSUF and tag us in your photos. So at this time, I'd like to introduce the platform party. First, Mr. Danny Kim, Vice President for Administration and Finance, Chief Finance Officer of the university. Mr. Michael McAlexander, Vice Chair of the Department of Communications. Dr. Doug Swanson, Associate Dean of the College of Communications. Mr. Dennis Gashin, lecturer and this year's distinguished faculty member. Mr. Jerry Wright, lecturer in the Department of Communications. Dr. Jim Collison, Assistant Professor of Communications. Dr. Carol Ames, Associate Professor of Communications and our Acting Graduate Program Coordinator. Dr. Brent Foster, Interim Director, Undergraduate Studies and General Education. Dr. Andy Stein, Professor of Communications. Dr. Tony Fellow, Professor of Communications. Dr. Kyunyi Jupak, Professor of Communications. Ms. Carolyn Cole, Associate Professor of Communications. Dr. Emily Erickson, Associate Professor of Communications. Dr. Mark Wu, Associate Professor of Communications. Dr. Waleed Rashidi, Assistant Professor of Communications. Dr. Frank Russell, Assistant Professor of Communications. Dr. Robert Meads, Associate Professor of Communications. Dr. Pension Poborosad, Assistant Professor of Communications. Ms. Anne Lajeunesse, Lecturer in the Department of Communications. Mr. Ken Hagihara, Lecturer in the Department of Communications. Ms. Holly Ocasio-Rizzo, Lecturer in the Department of Communications. Mr. Richard Favela, Lecturer in the Department of Communications. Ms. Amber Chitty, Internship Coordinator, Department of Communications. Ms. Bonnie Stewart, lecturer in the Department of Communications. Mr. Keith Kessler, lecturer in the Department of Communications. Ms. Michelle Kurland, lecturer in the Department of Communications. Please join me in acknowledging members of the Platform Party. I would now like to introduce Mr. Michael McAlexander to introduce our commencement leaders.
This year, the Department of Communications continues with a happy tradition, honoring our commencement leaders who have been selected because of their meritorious performance as students. Each commencement leader carries a flag representing each of the 5 curricular concentrations in the department. Representing advertising, Josue Alex Rodriguez Cobo. Representing entertainment and tourism communications, Vanessa Mangan. Representing journalism, Jasmine Arenas. Representing photo communications, Shawnee Edwards. And representing public relations, Moira Manimbo. We are pleased to have you carry our flags, and thank you. Please take your seats.
Thank you, Professor McAlexander. Next, I would like to invite Mr. Danny Kim, Vice President for Administration and Finance, to share a few words on behalf of President Mildred Garcia.
Thank you, Dr. Shepard. Class of 2017, the day has finally arrived for you. Congratulations. On behalf of President Garcia and our cabinet here at Cal State Fullerton, it is my honor and privilege to welcome you to the Department of Communications commencement ceremony for the class of 2017. To the parents, family members, and friends in the audience, thank you for being here as we honor and recognize our wonderful graduates. Without your support, without your guidance, without your encouragement, and of course, without your financial assistance, most of our graduates would not be here today. So graduates, let's give all of your supporters a round of applause. I would also like to thank the faculty, staff, and administrators of the Department of Communications for their dedication and hard work teaching and shaping our students to succeed. Let's give them a round of applause. Graduates, you've come a long way to reach this milestone. As you may know, this program has been accredited for over 40 years, and it's the 6th largest in the country. That is a remarkable distinction given there are over 2,500 four-year colleges and universities in the nation. These are some of the signs of excellence that you can be proud of as you join over 24,000 alumni from this program. You will also join a community of over 265,000 Cal State Fullerton alumni who proudly call themselves lifelong Titans. With your communications degree in hand, be confident knowing that all of your hard work, whether in coursework or writing for the Daily Titan, or doing an internship in the Practical Advantage Communications program, and other numerous high-impact practices has culminated into an invaluable repository of experience that will guide and support you as you start your careers. So congratulations to the class of 2017, and keep reaching higher. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Kim. Next, it is my pleasure to bring Mr. Dennis Gashin, our 2017 Distinguished Faculty Member and Faculty Marshal, to the podium. Dennis first came to the department in the 1970s as a master's degree student, an aspiring surfer dude from Rhode Island. Since then, he has refined his craft through university teaching, research, and public relations and integrated communications consulting. Along the way, he became an accredited member and fellow of the Public Relations Society of America, PRSA. As a past national PRSA board member and past president of the local chapter, Dennis brings deep insight to our student chapter and to his PR classes. It is my pleasure to introduce Mr. Dennis Gashin as this year's Faculty Marshal.
Thank you, Dr. Jason Shepard. What a sea of smiling faces out there. And that's just your parents hoping you'll finally move out now that you're graduating. Before I share a few words directed to the class of 2017, can you please join me and thank those lucky enough to have found tickets to get to today's invitation-only graduation. I heard getting tickets here was harder than scoring tickets to Coachella or getting an A in one of my classes. Hey, you weren't supposed to laugh at that one. So, today is your day. We're really here to applaud your accomplishments, and I cannot think of a more tenacious, more courageous graduating class. Just look at you in your robes. Usually wearing a robe this time in the morning means you've given up. But not you. You've all succeeded. And being extra with those caps, if you had spent as much time in the classroom as you did with glitter and a glue gun, we'd have a lot more of you graduating with honors today. I didn't know if that would strike too close to home, so thank you for bearing with me. I am truly honored to have been chosen to speak to you today. The selection committee said, say something to inspire these graduates, but keep it to less than 3 minutes. Ooh, no problem there. So I'm going to limit my advice to one 4-letter word: fear. Actor Jim Carrey once said, fear is going to be a player in your life, but you get to decide how much. Many choose their path out of fear disguised as practicality. What we really want seems impossibly out of reach and ridiculous to expect. So we never dare to ask the universe for it. But go ahead, ask. You can fail at something you don't like, so you might as well take a chance on something you love. Harry Potter author J.K. Rowling said, some sort of failure in life is inevitable. It's impossible to live your life without failing at something, unless you live so cautiously that you might as well not have lived at all, in which case you failed by default. Apple founder Steve Jobs explained, no one can predict the future. It's impossible to connect the dots looking forward. You can only connect them looking backwards. You have to trust that the dots connect somewhere in the future, so you're not afraid to follow your heart, even when it leads you off the well-worn path. So what does all this mean? Each of these 3 inspirational people failed miserably early in life, and each overcame their fear to become successful. So I guess it's okay to be fearful of the future. It's what we do with that fear that makes all the difference. Remember, life is all about the journey, not the destination. And so, class of 2017, I bid you bon voyage and congratulations.
Thank you, Mr. Gashin. Now it is my pleasure to introduce our student speaker today, Elsa Embler. Elsa is graduating summa cum laude with a current grade point average of 3.97. She transferred to CSUF for its outstanding public relations program. She's been an active member of the Public Relations Student Society of America and the university student-run PR firm Titan PR. Elsa hopes to pursue a job where she can continue to travel the world and make a difference. Please join me in welcoming Elsa Embler as today's student speaker.
Good morning, everyone. Today, we're here to celebrate a huge milestone, graduating college. To some of us, this was just the next logical step. Going to college was expected of us, so we did it. Some have had to overcome seemingly impossible obstacles just to get here. But all of us have at least one thing in common. We have to figure out how to answer that terrifying question that's been looming in the back of our minds since day one. What next? If there's one thing I've become an expert on over the years, it's being the new kid. Coming from a military family, I grew up in southern Germany, and it wasn't until I was 16 years old that I first came back to this country for good. It was the middle year of my junior year of high school. There wasn't a single familiar face to comfort me, and I was completely thrown off. Not only by the jet lag, but also by an overwhelming sense of culture shock. I had finally gotten used to being the German girl, or the American girl in Germany, and now was suddenly the German girl in America. When I was 19, I transferred to Cal State Fullerton from Northern California as a junior, and once again found myself to be the new kid, now in a school with over 30,000 students, none of whom I knew. At 20, I decided to study abroad. Not through our school, mind you, through a program I found myself with, again, absolutely no one I knew. I lived in the Netherlands for 6 months and had to force myself to remember how to make friends, learn a new culture, how to survive on my own without any sense of home or familiarity. And now, at 22, I stand here as a college graduate, ready to be the new kid once more. Thankfully, we comm students are pretty crafty. I always found ways to cope, immersing myself in classes that I loved, joining groups and clubs that surrounded me with others who were passionate about the same things as I was, and finally, going against every instinct I had and joining in on a conversation I've been eavesdropping on to thankfully meet one of my best friends in the world. I know you've been told a million times each not to be afraid to get out of your comfort zone, and I'm here to tell you once more. Because take it from me, sometimes you're forced into situations where there really isn't anything comfortable about it, and you still have to be there. I do realize I'm preaching to probably the largest group of extroverts you can find in Southern California, but I think it still applies, especially to the few of you fellow introverts out there. Whether it's moving to a new country or learning a new corporate culture, deciding whether you want to settle for the first thing that comes your way, or holding off for that crazy opportunity that just might work out, uncertainty is everywhere. If I can leave you with one piece of advice, it's this: remember what you came here for. Whether it was to check off the next box, prove to yourself and others that you could do it, open doors to a better life, or simply to make money, whatever it was, keep that with you. And you'll never have to wonder if all the blood, sweat, tears, all-nighters, barely passed exams, and breakdowns were worth it. They were leading you here. While you may not know exactly what the next step is, at least you'll have a guide. In every moment that you think, I can't do this, remember what you came here for. Never forget that you can affect change. You can make your mark. We should no longer think of ourselves merely as students, children, siblings, but rather as citizens, capable adults who can choose to be agents of change, who can choose to be active and present. So today, I stand with all of you, as past, present, and future new kids, at our jobs, in new cities, with new colleagues, and I can assure you that we will figure it out. Congratulations, class of 2017, and in the immortal words of Michael Scott, may your hats fly as high as your dreams. Thank you.
Let's hear it once more for our wonderful student speaker who represents all of our outstanding achievements. Now I'd like to welcome Dr. Tony Fellow to the podium.
Thank you, Dr. Jason. You may have noticed some of our graduates have medallions with different colored ribbons. These ribbons recognize scholastic excellence. A few weeks ago at our annual awards ceremony, the Department of Communications presented our Scholastic Honors students with their medallions. Each medallion is imprinted with the university seal. We want to recognize our honor students at this time. With those wearing medallions with white ribbons graduating cum laude with a grade point average of 3.5 to 3.74, please stand. Thank you. Please be seated. With those students wearing medallions with orange ribbons graduating magna cum laude with a grade point average of 3.75 to 3.98, please stand. Thank you. Finally, with those students wearing medallions with blue ribbons graduating summa cum laude with a grade point average of 3.9 or greater, please stand. Thank you. We congratulate our honor students on their achievements. Now I'd like to welcome Dr. Carol Ames to the podium.
Esteemed faculty, students, and guests, we now present to you our candidates for the degree of Master of Arts in Communications. In recognition of this achievement by all our master's candidates, the candidates will be invested with a hood lined in royal blue and white satin. Our university's colors. The color of the trim indicates the discipline. Dr. Shepard and Dr. Stein will hood each candidate while I read the names. Associate Dean Doug Swanson will join us to congratulate the new master's candidates. The new masters, please step forward. Anna Karen Karenis Yoleno. They're tricky. Sean Beebe. Kenya Barrett. Puya Marvasti. Yvonne Layera. Monette Meyer. Lindsay Zadair Stanley. Sushi Shuang. Richard Edwards. Eric Benitez. Neha Sheda. Lauren Feniger.
Save the best for last. I'm just kidding.
Jasmine Stanley.
Congratulations to our newest master's graduates. Woo! So proud of all of you. All right, now comes the moment you have all been waiting for. But before we present the candidates for the baccalaureate, I want to lay down some ground rules for you and explain the details of the ceremony. As you cross the platform, your name will be read by Mr. Jerry Wright and Dr. Jim Collison. You will receive a certificate of participation. The Office of Admissions and Records will notify you when your diploma is ready for pickup. Now, as you receive your certificate, professional photographers will take pictures, and you'll receive proofs in the mail. You're under no obligation, but you will have the option to order them if you so choose. You also may take photographs from your seats or after the ceremony, but we ask that guests please do not enter the stage area while we're giving out the certificates. Now, we know you're excited today, but please remember that each of your classmates also has family and friends who want to hear and see them receive their certificates. So we ask that you please show respect for your classmates with restraint and dignity. And we sincerely appreciate your cooperation. All right, so Dr. Shepard and Dr. Swanson, we will now present to you our candidates for the degree of Bachelor of Arts in Communications. Candidates, please come forward by way of the right and left ramps.
Will do. I'll just.
Emily Deems.
Jeremiah Stanley.
Elsa Embler.
Jasmine Arenas.
Vanessa Manjan.
Melinu Joseph.
Roxana Paul.
Casey Barahona.
Natalie Nicole Gomez.
Chelsea Carroll.
Gustavo Olguin.
Matthew Vito.
Jingfan Lin.
Guadalupe Sorillo.
Natalie Aguirre.
Cynthia Pasilla Yanez.
Luis Medina.
Desiree Hilgardo.
Eric Resendiz.
Yuki Borhuki.
Yep. You got it.
Victor Dominguez.
Sebastian Alexander Bly Swisher.
Daniel Kidd.
Carly Barbanel.
Matthew Monhay.
Brenna Hughes.
Jared Copeland.
Alexandra Beltran.
Christian Vigil.
Ashley Alonzo.
Taylor Pasqua.
Layla Ali Hassan.
Francesca Amar.
Rayanne Amudi.
Anissa Lewis.
Christopher Lee.
Raylan Taylor.
Eva Valdiva.
Ifoma Obi.
Francis Hamrock.
Nicole Rue.
Peyton Miller.
Paige Reed.
Shawnee Edwards.
Bridget Bigelow.
Jessica Blanda.
Monique Marie Gonzalez.
Elisa Fletcher.
Courtney Adkins.
Morgan Davis.
Alexis Uvecino.
Sulemi Ricinos.
Sierra Oropisa.
Ashley Hernandez.
Michelle Roca.
Courtney Gracia.
Marisa Justine Garcia.
Allegra Castens.
Frank Loris Risco.
Nicole Berg.
Kiana DeLeo.
Morgan Klein.
Christine Mason.
Haley Schneiders.
Haley M. Slew.
Paige Shaw.
Christopher Sheets.
Sarah Hernandez.
Jillian Salas.
Christian Muniz.
Aaron Valdez.
Brianni Gonzalez.
Ryan Porter.
Amanda Ibrahim.
Veronica Felipe.
Kiana Campion.
Family, Emily Diekman.
Serena Astorga.
Sarah Wollstonecroft.
Amanda Molina.
Brandon Ross.
Nicole Tyler Rojas.
Kathleen Elizabeth Sainza.
Emily Jett.
Galen Patterson.
Adrian Ruiz.
Abraham Recio.
Marissa Downs.
Zoe Runnels. Corey Buckley.
Riley Blatchley.
Martha Valenzuela.
Melissa Oriana.
Jacqueline Hasso.
Ryan Bentley.
Jillian Houghton.
Claire Imada.
Carolina De La Torre.
Zaira Becerra.
Jamie Garcia.
Summer Cantu.
Katie Grover.
Alejandra Garcia.
Nicole Penasiti.
Marissa Plasencia.
Keith Green.
Gladys Cardenas.
Alexandra Garcia.
Dalton Meyer.
Ton New Winning.
Myrna Gorgi.
Colby Hoeknick.
Kelly Abed.
Moira Manimbo.
Slow down for a second. Colleen Padua.
Vida Diana.
Eric Salgado Leon.
Dorian Munez.
Nathaniel Schmoke.
Natalia Rodriguez.
Hi. Andrea Depari.
Gabriela Patino.
Casey Lee.
Jesus Contreras.
Mallory Obispo.
Jennifer Morovland.
Havana Marichaux.
Jaslyn Molina.
Brenton Hewitt.
Alejandro Torres Rubio.
Salina Lopez.
Stephanie Gorman.
Amanda Juarez.
Angela Guastelelin.
Ashley Braunfox.
Taylor Susenia.
Demi Lauren Daly.
Sufa Berry.
Nicole Thom.
Jordan Kroc.
Tristan Vu.
Olivia Collin.
Elsa Nguyen.
John Carosello.
Lauren Mack.
Yasinid Gomez.
Manny Monroy.
Telemi Cruz.
Taylor Engel.
Valerie Perez.
Annie Gennaro.
Gilardo Escalardo.
Shelby Dalton.
Ashley Nussbaum.
Keely Jones.
Emily Cordis.
Monica LaFurla.
Gregory Britado.
Parker Severns.
Megan Guerin.
Cheyenne Linick.
Marthalicia Carrillo.
Mackenzie O'Brien.
Kimberly Thurgenson.
Victoria Chai.
Christina Medina.
Savina Tarka.
Regina Roeder.
Megan Lay.
Luis Urina.
Chelsea Wilson.
Guadalupe Guerra.
Ashley Young.
Alex Engelhart.
Paula Milad.
Fernaj Rostock.
Diane Bakidano.
Johnny Ives.
Leah Angelos. Perfect. Karis Green.
Lydia Veriska Mosquito.
Bree Burries.
Taylor Perua.
Nicholas Garcia.
Taylor Rodriguez.
Savannah Rose Romero.
Kiera Noriel.
Olga Mason. Christine Tuzon.
Andrea Vargas.
Jessica Briscorn.
Marissa Alaniz.
Freddie Padilla.
Taryn Martinez.
Jake Katzman.
Aaron Natito.
Joshua Beck.
Jessica Watson.
Nathaniel Struble. Lucy Hernandez.
Nicole Ongpoy.
Jaden Holder.
Kaylina Trias.
Adriana Picarella.
Isabella Risolas.
Nicole Beaudoin.
Karen Vargas.
Kelsey O'Henley.
Rebecca Vasquez.
Joshua Robinson.
Christian Egan.
Jasmine Pina.
David Leva.
Jose De Leon.
Alan Huerta.
Kimberly Gray.
Abigail Ibiaquez.
Morgan Rife.
Angelique Zamira Polomar.
Alexander Noriega.
Natalie Swart.
Holly Patterson.
Elijah Vuzele.
Jennifer Maggi.
Ana Alvarez.
Ify Onya.
Alan Fernandez.
Melody Hogg.
Luciran Aburto.
Sarah Marquez.
Jessica O'Neill.
Christina Lopez.
Valerie Murguia.
Cameron Hamilton.
Sarah Graham.
Lauren Main.
Alex Miranda.
Natalie Goldstein.
Jacob Reese.
Leslie Gomez.
Lauren Carr.
Ariel Cortez.
Tanner Love.
Josue Alexander Rodriguez Cobo.
Jacob Miller.
Natalie Mora.
Gretchen Davey.
Husna Gayasi.
Shailena Godson.
Carlos Padilla.
Matthew Ufelder.
Joanna Wojewska.
Dario Garcia.
Alex Tam.
Megan Genovese.
Robert Friedlander.
Joshua Chang.
Rohan Jagannath.
Alonzo Ulaazuo.
Emily Aurora Espitia.
Christine Lawrence.
Madison Page Smith.
Bianca Alonso.
Bareford? Yeah. Jonathan Bareford.
Alan Luarca.
Nala Amalzri.
Stephanie Lopes.
Oh, of course, yeah. Alan Noriega.
Nathan Lee II. Ashley Granger.
Sarah Truhill.
Alisar Zubara.
Christina Jovel.
Wendy Burchard.
Megan Yapelli.
Christina Roselli.
Jolene Pangan.
Natalie Duran.
Nancy Lai.
Alexandra Shagets.
Brittany Simmons.
Hannah Lukey.
Heather Gregory.
Adriana Martinez.
Maureen LaGrander.
Morgan Griffith McNair.
Ivy Nicole Diego.
Cynthia Marquez.
Cody Painter. Lindsay Daly.
Noemi Duran.
Scott Lichtenwalter.
Nicole Dicken.
Hannah Elliott.
Lorraine Sierra Pole.
Kamiko. Taylor Kamiko Saucedo.
Mitzi Gonzalez Flor.
Precious Manu.
Cynthia Schroeder.
Nura Takish.
Cassandra Phelps.
Oh, yeah. Maysoon Elhaja.
Robert Felton.
Nikki Farinas.
Brittany Fellows. Megan Harm.
Jacqueline Villa.
Christina Bagan.
Talia Farias.
Alessandra Maurisi.
Sarah Birnbaum.
Danya Kumarsiri.
Monique Nguyen.
Enya Sherwin.
Ryan Tufnell.
Brett Luntz.
Scott Yoon.
Evangelina Garcia.
Jacob Kazalu.
Elizabeth Chabrun.
Victor Saldivar.
Alyssa Montez.
Haley Nevis.
Lauren Coates.
Alyssa Escrivel.
Kelly Weimer.
Gabrielle Obando.
Crystal Marquez.
Shannon LeVay.
Ashlyn Lumirez.
Rachel Quarles.
Athena Amal Suban.
Andy Ali Mohammadi.
Sarah Suzalibo.
Brian Arneson.
Allison Raish.
Anna Spitz.
Kaylee Pointer.
Dakota Bales.
Rizame Bundalian.
Dina Esvael.
Pauline Ma.
Garrett Sokovich.
Carol Clardomo.
Rodrigo Rangel.
Adriana Heimovitz.
Chelsea Danielle Cooper.
Erica Caitlin Sharp. Natalie Marie Camacho.
Ciara Marie de los Santos Academia.
Samantha Recchia.
Kayla Schneller.
Pamela Chiappa.
Jennifer Farias.
Marissa Lara.
Okay, perfect. Asia Sanders.
Sue Kim.
Melissa Massey.
Carly Marie Kaipo.
Andrew Taw.
Chelsea Mullen.
Bo Kim.
Stephanie Velasco Kushi Carson. Stephanie Velasco Kushi Carson.
Camille Torres.
Alan Painter.
Connor Watkins.
Miyuki Nagao.
Brianna Murrow.
Kay Endo.
Constancio? Connor Constacio. Connor Sung.
Nephalid Misa.
Screw that up. Brianna Bossera.
Kiyota Ku Suzuki.
Lucy Duong.
Ziomara Barrios.
Ashley Evans.
Diana Rodriguez.
Yeah. Danielle Mardal.
Kayla Grossman.
Allie Staler.
Jessica Dumo.
Julia El Susu.
Olivia Cisneros.
Ashley Kelly.
Ulana Tarango.
Patricia O'Donnell.
Vanessa Daly.
Rachel Harwell.
Tushina Boyce.
Paul Maloney.
Francesca Torrijos.
Emmeline Solis.
Diana Mai.
Aaron Kubasik.
Charles Wynn.
Aaron Rivera.
Mateo Meola.
Marissa France.
Beres Blumton.
Naomi Menzer.
Valerie Festa.
Nora Botros.
Brianna Nicole Rodarta.
Jillian Rulin.
Angie Valley.
Janice Aguilar.
Lorento Santos.
Melanie Martinez.
Susanna.
Cherish Ira Lago Coili.
Tuvana Ayala.
Annalie Guardado.
Lucing Willett.
Graham McTagg.
Birke Tan.
Danielle Din.
Caitlin Knopp.
My Tep.
Brenda Palafox.
Sadie Flaherty.
Chelsea Reyna.
Olivia Havilar.
Hannah Youngblood.
Stephen Casillas.
Christopher Panazzo.
Denton Reno? Or Reno? Denton Reno.
Michelle Sanchez.
Oh, that's easy. Michael David Lee.
Ushna Khan. Sarah Nish.
Chloe Tabergian.
Lisbeth Ramirez.
Tana Schwartz.
Jessica Ramirez.
Jennifer Robb.
Zach Baez.
William McCoy.
Chelsea Rosso.
Brennan Price.
Layla Radizada.
Austria Silk.
Lauren San Juan.
Gregory Byrne.
Minette Mizraki.
Garrett Hannikin.
Yesnia Corona.
Darylise Shook.
Esther Montez.
Maria Camalita Teong.
Kelsey LaBarbera.
Marissa Madden.
Jacqueline Lindenberg.
Elizabeth Hummer.
Christian Newman Romas.
Amanda Navarro.
Angelica Mercado.
Miguel Moya.
Karen Rye.
Nicholas Wilford.
Amy Lee.
Marco Marzola.
Michaela Negretti.
Blake Druitt.
Vanessa De Vincente.
Leah Marie Hansen.
Rachel Matis.
Kylie Jolie Noon.
Aaron Sledge.
Danica Carver.
Lindsay Madsen.
Raquel Navarro.
Hey, I believe in you. Carolina.
Grecia Hernandez.
King Sano. Carolina.
You got it.
You got it.
Carolina Kixano.
Kevin Emery.
Kayla Overly.
Erica Vasquez.
Ashley Ortiz. Kirsten Ostafjord.
Marcella Uy.
Savannah Clevenger.
Jane Angelo.
Brianna Ward.
Elizabeth Marie Rodriguez.
Danielle Dardis.
Sydney Stocks.
Alexis Troland.
Lauren Vasquez.
Nicole Ulrich.
Kathleen Fertivo.
Haley Moss.
Kristen Jordan.
Stephen Meinke.
Leilani Kiss.
Crystal Ortiz.
Brittany Ty.
Joshua Serna.
April May Jimenez.
Kyle Mixer.
Alyssa Dean Dong.
Amanda Sharp. Aaron Resurrection.
Taiba Hassan.
Max Lytle.
Carrie Lee.
Andrea Montoya.
Danielle Elgin.
Catherine Henneman.
Andrea Torres.
Amanda Dodd.
Jeffrey Wang.
Brandon Viola.
Reham Youssef.
Fadi Kuri.
Haley Brennan. Amanda Knox.
Samantha Harito.
John Camucci.
Kelly Klez.
Kylie Decker.
Emily Rufa.
Bradley Toms.
Kylie Schmidt.
Sydney Wise. Haley Tobel.
Jason Villavicencio.
Jimmy Jackson the First.
Extina Golka.
Chris Sandoval.
Caitlin Fay.
Lee Garcia.
Darren Nahara.
Mika Nguyen.
Brandon Mamangon.
Jillian Martinez.
Chelsea Moreno.
Samantha Kleiter.
Jane Roy.
Amanda Feltenberg.
William William Olivieri.
Alyssa D. Smith.
Ali Jo Munier.
Lori Brittany.
Monique Elizabeth Jimenez.
Haley Watkins.
Brianna Henry.
Madeline Barber.
Meredith Culp.
Elizabeth Wilbur.
Noemi Santillan.
Haley Boven.
Andrea Cruz.
Zachary Torres.
Darnisha Loftus McKnight.
Miguel J. Clementa.
Sierra Parker.
Genesis Marisa Mendorantes.
Chelsea Page Hunt.
Mikhail Estev.
Christopher McCoy.
Stephen Daniel Hardy.
Lindsay Evans.
Arcadia Thompson.
Marissa Mie Fryer.
Erica Barcena.
Samantha Garcia.
Morgan Favors.
Cassidy Garcia.
Gabriela Mincer.
Sydney Alcarez.
Jennifer Rodriguez.
Cole Calhoun.
Paul Pay.
Erica Fabris.
Jared Marcel Escarino.
Stephen Jung.
Brenda Lozano.
Jeffrey Brady Sparks.
Midori May Avendano.
Samuel Alston.
Gregory Keys.
Roberto Muniz.
Denise Barraza.
Ryan Whitehead.
Vanessa Singh.
Brenda Guerrero.
Julian Lee.
Jennifer Mahoney.
Wu Yang Shin.
Joshua Gonzalez.
Simone Doring Rhodes.
David Villanueva.
Ashley Espinoza.
Jacqueline Quezada.
Lauren Graham.
Carlos Perez.
Taylor Dahl.
April Leonard.
Dominic Grace.
Gloria Balboa Abera.
Christina Nicole Tron.
Derek Wilkinson.
Carla Lumeras.
Nathan Solano.
Maria Serrano.
Natalie Corona.
Lisa Fleck.
Ryan Taba.
Jessica Chan.
Kimberly Curiel.
Andrea Nieves.
Destiny Hector.
Lillian Husak.
Ashley Bergman.
Kyle Lowe.
Manriquez. Alexandria Manriquez.
Marina Mostelenko.
Alex Aguirre.
Esther Mina Kim.
Josue Barrero.
Maya Ruhalahi.
Annabelle Mena.
Pauline Cho.
V. Ho.
Andy Prodeni.
Jonathan Guzman.
Vanessa Culver.
Tyler Harris.
James Miller.
Yasmin Hart.
Kimberly Martyr.
Eric Schultz.
Priscilla Tran.
Nick Flores.
Ashley Parsons.
Monica Duong.
Rodrigo Dumas.
Natasha Agung.
Cameron Hay.
Jacob Benjamin.
McKenna Ray Son.
Eric Munoz.
Hans Underly II.
Randy Ramirez.
Irina Artiga.
Destiny Wilson.
Cheyenne Coates.
Yoshu Chen.
Lam Tran.
Daniel Kabuai.
Rocio Lolanro.
Catherine Chan.
Jennifer Castanedo.
Salazar? Beatrice Salazar.
Kaylee Hamilton.
Norelli Gonzalez.
Heather Hamilton. Mary Miller.
Tatiana Green.
Elisa Martinez.
Jacob Hearn.
Alexis Stewart.
Alina Aguilar. Kevin Lay. Christian Brooks. Christina Adams Lyons. Kayla Mayer. Abril Elizalde. Monica Ebanks. Amy Tran. Desiree B. Haley. Daniel Jorzak. Michael Marine. Nicholas Mendoza. Alexander Mendoza.
Son de Lourdes Wendelin. Please.
I can't do it.
Lourdes Wendelin.
Okay. Lourdes Gwendoline.
Sunday.
So we have one more important ceremony, which symbolizes your transition from degree candidate to graduate. All candidates for MA or BA degrees, please stand. Now, with your right hand, please be sure your tassel is on the right side of your cap. Having completed all requirements of your degree, you may now move your tassel from the right to the left. Congratulations. So please be seated one last time. Class of 2017, welcome to the proud body of California State University Fullerton alumni. You've attained the first of many dreams. Don't stop now. You are moving into a bright future brimming with promise. You are Titans, and we are proud of you. Before you join your family and friends, we will conclude the commencement ceremony with a formal recessional. The platform committee will exit first, and then our newest alumni will exit by rows in an orderly fashion, led by our flag bearers, who should come forward now. For safety reasons, we ask that the audience wait until the graduates have exited the venue to the southeast outdoors. Flag bearers will lead the students outdoors. In the open space between this building and the library, you can join your graduate and the faculty for photographs. So thank you for your cooperation, and again, on behalf of the Department of Communications faculty and staff, congratulations to our alumni.